Everybody, we're back for part 6. So what we did is actually we sent this curl command and we got this JSON output. So we gave our financial advisor a question with all these details. So let's say I put age 40. Let's say I'm an investment firm, and basically what I'm thinking is that I want the AI agent that's going to give advice to my customers, right? So I'm an investment firm. I'm, let's say, based out of Chicago, which I'm actually based out of in reality. And so I'm saying to my advisor, look, I'm saying to my customer who's online and they came into my platform and they're like, hey, look, I'm age of 40, my income is this much, my savings is this much, buy a house in 5 years. So then my basically AI agent gives me this response. So you can see this is actually JSON output. You can actually take this and then put it on one of the Gemini or a Copilot or ChatGPT, and then just get it like a better kind of like an output. But what happens here is that because I used curl and command line, our agent responded with a JSON output that basically took these answers and it generated a really good financial portfolio advice. Now, this was the whole purpose of this AI agent. Now, why this is a big deal? Because when you're working, let's say, in a financial sector, you want to use things like RAG. You want to connect your AI agent to your internal wiki system or documentation system. And then, so for example, if you're working, let's say, let's say I'm a kind of like a customer and I come for the financial firm and I'm like, hey, look, this is what I need. How can I, how much it's gonna take me if I want to buy a house in 5 years? So, for example, there's a lot of teams in big companies, but in smaller companies, so what's gonna happen is that they're gonna ask you to build something like this. The reason I'm teaching you this is because I don't want you to be lost and think, okay, what the hell am I going to do next? It's very easy. All you have to use a Docker Compose. If you come from a DevOps, platform engineering, systems engineering background, just stick to Docker Compose. Start with a Docker Compose, then start splitting your services. First, you want to split your app, then you want to split your Ollama service, right? And use Ollama for now. Don't have a headache. Just don't go into the AWS. You can use AWS and GCP and other stuff, but like if your company's not there, they don't want to pay for a lot of money for a lot of services. Use open source tools. Ollama is actually open source. So if you go to ollama.com, if you go here quickly, you can see this platform is really cool. There's a lot of free here like models. You can use these models. Pull the model that you need, for example, specific for healthcare, specific for finance, and then just build your AI agent. That's what I've been doing. So for example, in my case, I'm using Llama 3 for my financial advisor, but who knows, you might want to use something else. And the best part about it, there's actually different versions of these AI agents. So Llama with the 3 billion parameters and Llama 3.1 actually has more than 405 billion parameters, but this is a new version, by the way. So as you know, the more parameters the model has, this one is actually trained much more better than this one. But if a model has more parameters, that means the answers, the amount of answer, the clarity you're going to get is better. But keep in mind that there might be hallucinations, right? So we've been probably I'm going to cover that in one of the in one of the other videos, but the hallucinations are very, very common. So just to wrap this up, what we did is that we have a financial advisor agent as part of as part of this project 1 lab 2 project 1 financial advisor AI agent. This is a very simple fast API application, Python app. It uses the Llama 3 model. The prompt goes to the Ollama. Ollama basically generates that, uses the the LLM, the Llama 3, and then basically takes that query, reasons on that, and then returns back the risk score and portfolio allocation. Let's look at the risk score, and this is the rest of our portfolio allocation. So in my case, my agent is saying stocks for 80%, bonds 15%, and keep cash of 5%. So, and then here it just gives me an explanation of why it happened, where you can invest in what stocks. To make it very short and concise, please, when you start working with the AI agents, stick to Docker Compose. Then when you go into the production, go back to the Kubernetes. If you're using Kubernetes like locally, like something like a Minikube or whatever, go ahead, you be my guest. It's actually good. But if you're just starting, then just use Docker Compose. That's what I did. It's, it just takes you're gonna move way quicker. Once you have your Docker Compose, everything set up, from here to take into the K8s is way easier. You're just gonna go ahead and then deploy it in the Kubernetes EKS, AKS or GKE, whichever platform you use, and you can just take these images, harden it, make sure run some security checks, whatever, and then just push it to your registry, and then deploy that into your compute platform, right? So like I mentioned, one of those cloud platforms. So right now you can see here, this is not a really like a production ready. Like I could take this and just use it as a just from my laptop just for fun, but in the production environments you will be deploying this into the K8s, most of the times into the Kubernetes, and that's the what the most important part is. I didn't go too much to the Docker Compose because this is not the video about the Docker Compose. But you can, if you're using like an IDE like mine, Kiro or something, then you can just take a look at these different commands and just play with them. So Docker Compose, let's take a look of another command, Docker Compose PS. So it's like a Docker, when you do like a Docker PS command, like it's similar to that. So it just shows you like, different compose services. Docker Compose pause, you can pause it, you can unpause it, you can scale it, you can basically scale up and scale down, so whatever way you want. But this is, like I mentioned, Docker Compose is great for POCs, for a quick like kind of a for a quick kind of like a demos. It's not a production ready. I would actually not suggest use it for production systems, but I would highly suggest for demos for POCs because it allows you to move fast. And here's the thing, guys: start simple and then grow slowly from the simple. Don't go into the complicated stuff. Always start simple, very simple, so that you can understand what parts you're building, what you're doing, and then slowly grow your project from that. With that being said, please leave your feedback. Please leave your comments. Let me know what do you think about this. Let me know about all this financial advisor agent, AI agent, and all this the AI hype that's been going on. But if you want more information, please go ahead to Remoder. Reach out to me on LinkedIn. Please follow us on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and just if you have any questions, please let me know. But thank you for watching. This was just I didn't want it to drag, but it's actually 6-part video, which is great. So yeah, if you have any more questions, please let me know. And have a great day and enjoy this project.